And we're good. So, hey, Josh, thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me, Jason.
My pleasure. So, what I want to do is basically discuss your experience. You've had some experiences with Instagram, and you started using IGTV and a number of the other tools that are there. So, I was wondering if we can just talk for a couple minutes about some of the things you've noticed, because I guess first of all, you don't come from. So, you've been in real estate for how long?
11 years.
Okay, and 11 years. From what I understand, the bulk of it hasn't been about technology, social media, or anything like that. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And so when you joined the new brokerage that you're at, eXp, you saw that there was a change in the way you were doing things because of the tools and technology that was there. And one of the things that you had mentioned was Instagram and some of the things that you're doing. And so what I would like to do is just sort of delve into that. Some of the things that you've seen using it, the benefits, maybe even some of the things people need to be aware of as they start to get into Instagram.
Okay.
All right. So first of all, what intrigued you about Instagram?
I guess one day I happened to notice that a lot of the content I was looking at or that was being fed to me was I really didn't have a lot of control over it. And so I was trying to figure out why that is and how those people were actually feeding me stuff. So like, it wasn't bad stuff. It's just like, but maybe it was on a product or it was something else that I wasn't really interested in. So yeah, I started looking into, and then my daughter, ironically, our kids know more about this stuff than we do. So she took a course, a summer course about social media, and ironically, the only social media they talked about was Instagram. And the kid that got the most amount of followers in a short period of time kind of got a little bit of a prize. So then I was interested in what does that actually entail, and how did you do that? And she didn't get the prize because she didn't have any followers to begin with, but she had over 300 in less than a week, and I couldn't believe that. I was like, I couldn't get anybody, and I honestly don't do a lot of social media. I don't post things about my family or myself. The other thing I noticed was a lot of people that do actually have a lot of followers. And so there's a couple that I follow, and ironically, they do a lot of portraits of themselves. They do a lot of, and people love that stuff. And I was like, I don't understand that. And how did I get on their feed again? And so hashtags. Did not know anything about hashtags and how you could kind of push your way into someone's life that way.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. So you were speaking about doing portraits and photos and that sort of thing. Do you find that your Instagram feed is more about that, or is it more about the new features like IGTV?
Yeah, so I actually like video, and I learned to do that because of somebody that I know really well. And the one thing I liked about IGTV is then it combined the video with hashtags and allowed you to kind of use unique things to try to get in front of people. So an example might be if I was doing a video on a new listing, I might look at who's the potential buyers. And I would say, okay, this one here is more somebody who is downsizing. Okay, well, then I would look at seniors hashtags, right? So what are seniors interested in? Well, they're interested in community events, and they're interested in maybe lawn bowling or whatever, and find a hashtag that has a lot of followers and just butt in. And so it's kind of, that's the way I view it, because it's kind of like, wow, this has nothing to do with lawn bowling. However, I'm trying to get in front of somebody.
Yeah, and that's interesting because I do a lot of training on being laser focused in who we're marketing to. And I always give the example of the garage and the kitchen. And, we have the ability to market the 3-car garage to somebody that loves cars as toys and say, oh, by the way, you get a great kitchen as well. And then market the same home to people that enjoy the phenomenal kitchen and say, hey, great, if your spouse needs a garage, there's that. Or if you have toys, there's that. And so we talk about laser focused marketing frequently. And so it's neat to hear that you've taken that mindset and sort of tried to drill down into your hashtags. to try and have your videos fall in front of people that maybe aren't looking for a home right now, but something like an adult living bungalow using your senior downsizing gets in front of those seniors and maybe starts to spark that question.
Yeah, or maybe you're just looking. So everyone knows I do market updates, and so in Sherwood Park, um, I really try. We're trying really hard this next year to become basically the go-to person for information. A lot of realtors, they have a great personality, and maybe mine's good too, but people, have to get to know who you are, and video does that really well because it's not just text anymore. It's not just you with a picture. It's now you trying to portray something, and you better be good at it. And believe me, there's lots of takes and retakes, and but video does that. And then through Instagram, people can take a look at that.
Now, with Instagram, if we do a static post, we don't have the ability to link to the post itself. I
Correct.
am going to touch base and have you speak about something else, but in a minute here on how we can get around that. But for IGTV, are we able to put live links into the IGTV videos?
Yeah, that's one of the beautiful things. You can put a link, so click here, and it actually will allow them. Where in Instagram, you're not given that option, and it looks like to me as if IGTV is the medium they want us to use. They're willing to give us this ability, which is huge because they could be letting you leave Facebook or Instagram, and like example, Facebook doesn't really like us taking a link from YouTube and just pumping it in and taking them right out of Facebook. They want us, in order for them to sell advertising dollars, they have to keep people glued. But IGTV is different that way. They will let us do it, at least for now.
Yeah, it feels like IGTV is really trying to create a push to be able to get more people engaging on the Instagram platform and try and take some competition away from YouTube, et cetera.
Absolutely, yeah.
And so, I've continuously said to you and everybody else that we work with is my crappy video is going to outperform your no video every day of the week. And so it's great to see that you've transitioned to these videos. And it's pretty cool to see the way that Instagram now is rewarding you for having these videos. So what are some of the results that you've seen, either small victories or huge victories, um, just through doing some Instagram videos?
Okay, so there's a couple of things that I had to come to grips with. If you're looking to create tons and tons of followers, you are drastically mistaken that people are just going to automatically start following you just because you put a video out. What I do know is people stalk us, and this is a great stalking tool for them. So, I notice my views go up. I notice lots of different things change, and it doesn't, what's significant to me today isn't the same as it used to be. Yes, I would love 10,000 followers, I guess, but if I have 10,000 followers that aren't really laser focused and they just clicked on me because I, inspired them to become Instagram followers, and I see lots doing that, it doesn't necessarily mean that they like the content. So it keeps me on my toes. It's kind of like our job. If people don't like what we're doing, pretty much they'll just terminate and they'll get rid of us, right? So, if you're on your A game and you're trying really hard to give good service, it's the same with Instagram. They get to know you, they like you or they don't, and you're finding your tribe, which is one thing that's important to me.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. So just as an example, just not sure if you know the numbers or not, if you were to look back at your last video that you did as a market update, say last month, how many people do you think viewed the video?
You know what? I'm not tracking my numbers that great, and there is actually a reason I'm not, because I believe that we just have to continue to put content out. Um, I would say this, Jason, my numbers have been dramatically going up. Um, every month that I do it and I'm consistent with it, I get more and more people that are willing to watch the views. Some of them are clicking through and going into other places, which you know how important that is, especially if we're putting them into our KV Core, for instance, right? So I'm getting a lot of, that I link my videos back into KV Core through a blog, and quite often that's how people are coming in, and it's through Instagram in most cases, or it could be Facebook. But when I put out a market report right away, I see that already changing as people want more information, and I don't give all the information, right? So if they want to see more, they
Yeah.
click.
No, that makes sense. So how long would you say your market videos are?
Less than 3 minutes.
Okay, so if you were able to have, let's say, even 20 people watch those 3 minutes,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that would look at it and go, my Lord, you do a lot of work for 3 minutes
Yeah.
or for 20 people. But I think you're hitting the nail on the head when you say we can't focus on the big numbers, because the reality is if somebody watches your video in Texas or Newfoundland or China or anywhere, yeah, you may get an ego boost because you're getting closer to this 10,000 people that are following you or watching you. But the reality is we want to have meaningful conversations in everything we do. So it doesn't matter if we're prospecting or what we're doing, it's about meaningful conversations. So how long, you were a door knocker.
Mm-hmm.
How many doors would you have had to knock on to be able to have 20 meaningful conversations where you could speak to them for 3 minutes and appear like the expert in the neighborhood?
Yeah, so that is a great question, because I would actually have to hit probably closer to 50, if not maybe 75 on a bad day.
Yeah, and so, but how long would that take? So to have
Yeah.
those, say,
So
so
yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. So that would probably take me anywhere from a day to a day and a half. My wife and I prospect together when we were doing door knocking. So if we worked 3 hours, that was 6 hours, 6 man hours, right? So you're looking at basically a whole day of prospecting, just to have those 20 conversations. And that's what we're after. We're after 20 conversations a day.
yeah, and so that's I get goosebumps when I start to see how we can be altering lives, just sharing ideas and working together. And so one of the cool things with this Instagram is the reality is what you're telling me is there's about 10 hours of door knocking there to get into these 20 meaningful conversations with people. And I'm assuming you haven't spent a full 10 hours on your market report.
No, no, I am getting a little better at it. And so, as analytical as I am, I quickly have a few points that I want to hit on. They can download the full report, and that to me is more important. And it sends them into my website, where they can actually then see all the reports, see whatever they want. And that's just my point. I just had, okay, so yesterday, out of the blue, somebody signs up on my website. Where are they getting it? Well, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it doesn't really say, because it didn't say that they came in through some specific avenue. But when you have people signing up, and I don't have any lead follow up through Facebook right now, or lead generation through Facebook directly, it's all coming in either through videos or maybe a sign. But I don't think the signs really attract people like a video will.
Yeah, and so there's all kinds of organic traffic that's occurring in organic leads. And so we continuously talk about using one tool and thinking about the different ways that we can leverage it. So one of the benefits to you doing the market report is you can go back to your clients on a monthly basis and say, hey, I'm the expert. Here's some information on your property. But it's really cool that you then can take it to that other regard and start to build rapport with people that you haven't met, because there's way more people out there that you haven't met than you have met. And
Yeah.
using a tool like IGTV is allowing you to leverage that. And I would say to anybody watching the video right now, even if you have 3 meaningful viewers that get to watch the entire video, that's going to grow next month, and that's going to grow the following month. And just start to find your tribe, get in front of people that want to spend time seeing what you're presenting, seeing what you're preparing. Some of the things that Josh has spoken about, we speak about in a lot of other training. So go ahead and visit the YouTube channel, or reach out to us and we'll be able to share some of the ebooks with you. But what we want to do is we want to try and give them not only the opportunity to pique their interest with a video, but be able to send them to somewhere with a call to action. So like Josh had mentioned, we can download the report. They can go to my blog to be able to see the market report. Um, we can create squeeze pages or landing pages if we're talking about specific properties, something that Josh, you and I haven't spoken about that just popped in my head. I don't know if you have in your blog, but something I would suggest is if your market report is about Sherwood Park, then in your blog, do you have a link that then allows them to get to see all the hottest new listings in Sherwood Park?
No, but that would be great. That would be a smart move, especially with IG.
So what we can do is take mini victories and sort of create an opportunity for them to head down the rabbit hole. So maybe they weren't thinking about moving. They saw Josh's market report video on IGTV and said, oh, okay, I'm curious. Maybe I need a little bit more information. Goes to the blog, checks it out. After they do that, Josh is a beautiful big picture that just says, hey, if you want to check out the hottest new listings in Sherwood Park, click this image. So it clicks that image, and next thing you know, they're looking at properties. Well, one of the cool things that we know with technology now is using IGTV, bringing them to our website. We then can retarget back to them in different types of advertising platforms like Google and Bing and Facebook to be able to keep telling them how great you are. Well, this creates this perpetual cycle that goes on. And so even though you only had 3 meaningful views on the video or 20 or whatever your number is, these are conversations that would have been hard to create. Think of Josh's 20 meaningful conversations can be 10 hours or more, a day and a half of door knocking for 2 people. And this just changes the way that we think about our numbers. We don't need 10,000 people watching the video because I don't care who in Newfoundland or China or Texas wants to watch the video unless it's something where it's a referral incoming, where that will happen. But a large part of what goes on online is just people watching videos to watch videos, especially if we just have a house video or anything like that. A market report is different because to watch the video, you'd probably want to engage and know what's going on in that community. Otherwise, you wouldn't care to watch. Now, on static ads, Josh, we know that we can't put a link in, but you've mentioned there's a solution for that. Would you mind just sharing?
Yeah, so I was struggling with this because I really wanted to have a way for people to go somewhere. So there is, if you want more information, you go to my IG and you follow us, and you'll see that in there I say, if you want more information on this, check out our bio. And in my bio is you can put a link. And so I'm using a free service. It's called Linktree. And in there, it makes it look like they're going to kind of a telephone style looking app. And you can put whatever links you want in there. And it is pretty cool. It's limited with, a few things, but I like the idea of just being able to shoot people something, throw them something, right? If they're interested at all, they can get the market report there. They can get an evaluation there. They can get all these things. And so I think there's around 7 links in there for them, but you can add as many as you like. And but it just gives them more options. And that's all we do, right? Throw something out. The thing sits there. I don't have to do anything about it. I just have to add that at the bottom of my static ad.
No, and that's perfect. So I love that idea using Linktree because it's a way that we can then make the comments right in the post. Hey, check out this section or this section to get more information. We can have that evolve continuously. It's also really important that we're mindful. So at eXp, we use KV Core, which is a CRM. It's been mentioned here a couple of times. And so in the CRM, we have the ability to allocate where those leads come in. And you may hear us speak in the video about hashtags. And so that's how we do it, is we create a hashtag in KV Core so that we know how that person came in. And so be mindful of, if you're creating squeeze pages or landing pages in the link tree, that we're using some great hashtags to be able to do the follow-up. It can be really powerful as well. Now, anything else that you want to add about LinkedIn? Oh, first of all, Josh, tell us about your page. How do we find you on LinkedIn?
Yeah, so on Instagram, we're Mackinnon Home.
Sorry, Instagram. I said LinkedIn. I apologize.
I think they have us as Mackinnon.home. So if you do that, then you'll find Anita and myself. And yeah. It's
How do you spell McKinnon? Okay,
Mackinnon. So,
perfect.
and I think if anybody's doing this, the one thing, and I've learned this through Jason, that consistency is where it's at. So I'm not great at anything, as you can see. I don't even have great lighting today. But when I do a video, it takes us a few minutes to get set up, and who cares how many mistakes you make? It really doesn't matter. Let the thing roll. Just keep talking and cut and edit, and you'll get better where you just do it in one take and it doesn't matter, right? Like Jason said, a crappy video is better than no video at all. And some people, and I would say this about myself, and even about my wife, we like to make things perfect. That's not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah, and we also know there's a great book. Shoot, I'm drawing a blank on the name, written by Hardy. But basically, he speaks about small, doing small things consistently enough over a long enough period of time. We're going to have exponential results. Darren Hardy, and it's so true. Don't get discouraged. You know, you're 4 videos in, or you're 3 months in, and your reach hasn't been excessive. It's not about excessive, it's about gaining those meaningful conversations, and it will grow, I promise. Just don't become paralyzed through the analysis. I'll refer to it all the time as paralysis through analysis,
Right.
where we overthink it, right? We want it perfect. So we plan it out, we look at it, we try and do it, we do it, and then we look at it and we go, oh, I don't like my hair, I don't like the way I sound. Wow, that was terrible lighting. The reality is, get it on, because that my crappy video is going to outperform your no video every day of the week. And so the more that we can get these out there, a lot of times people want to see the train wreck. And so have fun with it, right? If there's an error or there's chaos, just joke about it. Or, if you need to, cut it out. There's all kinds of options out there. Anything else you want to add about Instagram, Josh?
Um, One thing that you should be doing is you be constantly looking at what hashtags you're using and be changing them up. Yes, it's great to go back to the same people, and you may want to pick a few hashtags to do that. But every single week, you should be reaching out into new areas all the time and just putting your stuff out there. So if you have a community, yes, you may want to use that community hashtag over and over again, which I do. But if you're looking to attract people more and more like yourself, keep trying to think about the things that you like, and then find those hashtags and look at how many are following, and then kind of use that as your first gauge whether or not it's something worth looking at. Spend 5 minutes each time you do a video. That's all it takes, just to identify and isolate 5 or 6 hashtags. Instagram will let you use lots, but I would say this: if you'd be better off picking 5 or 6 really good ones than just doing a copy paste off of something else. And that's another thing. Don't copy and paste. It doesn't work.
Perfect. Thanks, Josh. Yeah, and on that hashtag mindset, I would think of creating 2 or 3 hashtags that are your brand, so that somebody can easily click on those hashtags and just see everything that you have to offer. So there may be a brand about Mackinnon Homes, and then there may be a brand about the market video in Sherwood Park. So if they just wanted the market video in Sherwood Park, they'd be able to look at the last year's worth of videos that are there. They can look for just that hashtag. Or if they want to see everything that Josh and Anita put out, they can also just look for the hashtag of Mackinnon Homes. Then the rest of the hashtags can all be related to whatever you want to relate to. So on that note, I'm going to wrap up. Thanks, Josh, for sharing your time with us and your wisdom. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, Jason.
And yeah, everybody just enjoy Instagram. Give it a try. Do me a favor, provide any feedback below, any great experiences you've had, anything that you'd like to suggest that other people do. If you have any great experiences as well, we'd love to hear about it. So just comment below. Do me a favor and like the video, comment on the video, and please subscribe to the channel.